Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.
Question 1. Land is typically appraised by what approach? A. Income approach. B. Gross rent multiplier approach. C. Option approach. D. Market data approach. Answer. D. Land is typically appraised by the market data approach by comparing the subject property to recent sales data of comparable parcels of land. Question 2. If Sarah Jean recently begins to receive her own tax bill after purchasing her property, this means she has most likely purchased into A. A condominium. B. A lease. C. A tenancy in common. D. A syndicate. Answer. A. A condominium is owned in fee simple, just as a normal home would be. This means that the homeowner, or condo owner, receives his or her own property tax bill. Question 3. Which party is most likely to sue for specific performance in regard to the purchase of real estate? A. The buyer. B. The seller. C. The broker. D. The attorney of the brokerage. Answer. A. The party most likely to sue for specific performance would be the buyer. This is done by the buyer to force the seller to sell. Question 4. When are mills most often used? A. In the calculation of square inches. B. In the appraisal of the property. C. In the assessment of the county fire code. D. In the assessment of property taxes. Answer. D. Mills, each 1/10 of a cent, are sometimes used to express the tax rate per dollar of assessed value. Question 5. What is the difference between market value of a property and the debt on the property including all liens? A. Income ratio. B. Assessed value. C. Equity. D. Market fluctuated value. Answer. C. Equity is the difference between the market value and the debt on the property. Question 6. The first step of a jurisdiction attempting to enact eminent domain is to A. Attempt to purchase the property in question. B. Give the owners a 30-day notice to vacate. C. Seek an injunction. D. Obtain a writ of closure. Answer. A. The first step of the jurisdiction would be to attempt to purchase the property at a fair market rate. Question 7. If the buyer, Sue, gives her agent, Jesse, an envelope of cash to hold as her earnest money for the property she wishes to buy, she is trusting that Jesse will protect this money for her and is an example of the fiduciary duty of A. Due process. B. Accounting. C. Competence. D. Escrow. Answer. B. This is the fiduciary duty of accounting. The agent must be able to hold and produce anything that is given to their care. Question 8. If a contract has a clause that states time is of the essence and either party fails to act in a timely manner to execute the contract, they can be held in A. Breach. B. Default. C. Void. D. Non-performance. Answer. B. If any party fails to take care of their matters in a timely manner in this situation could be held in default of contract. Question 9. In an area neighborhood that has a home in a dilapidated state that would require extensive remodeling to be compared to other homes in the area, what would this be an example of? A. Depreciation. B. Incurable depreciation. C. Curable depreciation. D. None of these. Answer: B. This is an external factor caused by the other homes in the area. This is a form of incurable depreciation. Question 10. The civil penalty for a first violation of the federal fair housing laws can be as much as A. $1,000. B. $5,000. C. $10,000. D. $50,000. Answer: D. The court may assess civil penalties against the violator up to $50,000 for a first violation and up to $100,000 for any subsequent violation.
Passing the real estate exam can be hard, like really hard. Statistically, only about 50% of people actually pass the real estate exam on their first try. Those people that pass, they go on to become real estate agents. And the people that didn't pass, they either give up completely or have to try again. Both of these options are painful, disappointing, and upsetting. Exam Scholar Real Estate Edition has been named as the best real estate exam prep by multiple publications for 7 years in a row. If you are about to take the real estate exam, Exam Scholar Real Estate Edition is a no-brainer choice. There is no other real estate exam preparation service out there that comes close. To enjoy the longest membership time, lowest cost, real estate videos, audios, articles, flashcards, vocabulary, exam tips and tricks, a 1-year no questions asked refund policy, and be one of the 35,000 people that it has helped pass the real estate exam, then sign up in less than 5 minutes at www.realestateexamscholar.com.
Question 1. If an asset is showing a decline in monetary value or a decline in the value of property, this is best known as A. Depreciation. B. Expense. C. Declining value. D. Comparable dispersion. Answer: A. Depreciation is a decline in the value of property and, in accounting, is the declining value of an asset. Question 2. In the most basic sense, debt is considered A. Any amount owed to another. B. A credit from one person to another. C. An owed amount with interest. D. Anything of value that is borrowed from another. Answer: A. An amount that is owed to another is probably the simplest form of the definition of debt. Question 3. A loan in which the lender makes payments to the builder at periodic intervals as the work progresses is best called A. A short-term interim loan. B. A construction term loan. C. A convertible construction loan. D. A periodic convertible loan. Answer: A. A short-term interim loan is a loan in which a lender makes payments to the builder at periodic intervals as the work progresses. This type of loan is also known as a construction loan, but not called a construction term loan. Question 4. Homeowners association fees are also sometimes called A. Common area assessments. B. Condominium fees. C. Common designated conveyances. D. Area commune fees. Answer: A. Homeowners association fees are also sometimes called common area assessments. They are paid by the individual owners and are used to maintain the property or common areas. Question 5. A time deposit that is held in a bank that pays a certain predetermined amount of interest to the depositor is known as A. A certified deposit. B. A certificate of deposit. C. An interest-bearing account. D. A time-stamped deposit. Answer: B. A time deposit that is held in a bank that pays a certain predetermined amount of interest to the original depositor is called a certificate of deposit. Question 6. If a homeowner refinances the mortgage on the property at a higher amount than the current loan balance for personal use, this is called A. Cash out refinance. B. Reverse mortgage. C. Equity line of cash. D. None of these. Answer. A. A cash out refinance is when a homeowner refinances the mortgage on the property at a higher amount than the current loan. This happens when the current borrower intends to use the money for personal use. Question 7. The final lump sum payment due at the termination of a specific type of mortgage is best called A. A hovering payment. B. A balloon payment. C. A floating payment. D. A deferred payment. Answer. B. A balloon payment is a lump sum payment that is due at the termination of a balloon mortgage. Question 8. The best definition of an appraiser is A. An individual qualified by education and experience to estimate the value of real and personal property. B. An individual that works for lenders exclusively to estimate the value of real and personal property. C. An individual that works exclusively independently as a contracted agent to estimate the value of real and personal property. D. None of these. Answer. A. An appraiser can work for lenders or they can work as independent entities. They are always qualified by education and experience to determine the value of real and personal property. Question 9. A value created according to a government formula intended to reflect the true annual cost of borrowing expressed as a percentage is called A. PR. B. ARP. C. CPR. D. ADR. Answer. A. Annual percentage rate, otherwise known as APR, is a value created according to a government formula intended to reflect the true annual cost of borrowing expressed as a percentage. Question 10. Liabilities, including long-term and short-term debt and any amounts owed to others, is best known as a person's A. Financial obligations. B. Net worth minus expenses. C. Debt. D. Assets. Answer. A. A person's liabilities that include long-term and short-term debt as well as amounts owed to others is best called their financial obligations. Question 1. Typically, a penalty that a borrower must pay if the payment is at least 15 days late on a first mortgage is best called A. A late charge. B. A delinquent payment fee. C. A fee in contract. D. A penalty in date. Answer. A. A late charge is a penalty that a borrower must pay if the payment is at least 15 days late on a first mortgage. This time frame can vary, but the most typical is at least 15 days. Question 2. If Lucia was looking to come up with a down payment for her loan and she put forth the idea of using her 401k plan as a source for the down payment, this would be A. An acceptable source for a down payment. B. An unacceptable source for a down payment. C. An acceptable source for a down payment as long as penalties are paid prior. D. None of these. Answer. A. A 401k plan is an acceptable source for a down payment for most types of loans. Most times, pulling funds from a 401k plan prematurely will result in penalties. However, it is not required to pay these penalties in order to secure the down payment for a loan. Question 3. The best definition of a foreclosure is A. The legal process by which a borrower in default under a mortgage is deprived of their interest in the mortgaged property. B. The legal process by which a borrower relinquishes interest in a real property whether in default or not. C. The legal process by which a borrower is evicted from real property in which they hold interest, even if only one payment is late. D. None of these. Answer. A. Foreclosure is best defined by the legal process by which a borrower in default is deprived of their interest in the mortgaged property. Question 4. A mortgage on a property that is considered to be the priority mortgage among any loans recorded against a property is best defined as A. A primary mortgage. B. A first mortgage. C. An anterior mortgage. D. A premier mortgage. Answer. B. A mortgage that is considered to be the priority or first place mortgage among any loans recorded against a property is best defined as a first mortgage. Question 5. An income-based community lending model, under which mortgage insurers and Fannie Mae offer flexible underwriting guidelines to increase a low or moderate income family's buying power and to decrease the total amount of cash needed to purchase a home is called A. Fannie Mae's Community Home Buyers Program. B. Freddie Mac's Community Home Buyers Program. C. Fannie Mae's Income-Based Home Buyers Program. D. Fannie Mae's Disadvantaged Borrowers Home Buyer Program. Answer. A. Fannie Mae's lending model that offers flexible underwriting guidelines to increase certain families' buying power and to decrease the total amount of cash needed to purchase a home is called Fannie Mae's Community Home Buyers Program. Question 6. In an exclusive listing, it gives the licensed real estate agent the exclusive right to sell a property. A. For a specified period of time. B. Indefinitely. C. Until the property is sold. D. Until the seller changes their mind. Answer. A. An exclusive listing allows for the licensed agent to have the exclusive right to sell the property for a specified period of time. It does not allow for an indefinite period of exclusivity. Question 7. This is a law requiring lenders and other creditors to make credit equally available without discrimination based on race, color, religion, national origin, age, sex, marital status, or receipt of income from public assistance programs. A. ECO. B. IACO. C. COA. D. None of these. Answer. A. The law that requires lenders and other creditors to make credit equally available without discrimination based on race, color, religion, national origin, age, sex, marital status, or receipt of income from public assistance programs is called the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or ECO. Question 8. The term that is used in reference to FHA and VA loans and that are paid in addition to the 1% loan origination fee is called A. Discount points. B. APR. C. Interest. D. None of these. Answer. A. Discount points are any points, money, paid in addition to the typical 1% loan origination fee. Discount points are usually associated with FHA or VA loans. Question 9. The most common definition of a creditor is A. A person to whom money is owed. B. A person that owes money to another. C. An institution that originates loans. D. An institution that insures loans. Answer. A. A creditor is a person to whom money is owed. The creditee is a person that owes money to another. Question 10. In order for a real estate agent to determine the market value of a property, the agent would look at recent sales of properties with similar attributes, otherwise known as A. Comparables. B. Similars. C. Sames. D. Clones. Answer. A. Comparables, or comps, are the properties that are similar to the examined property that have sold recently. This gives the agent a good and fair determination of the current market value for the examined property. Question 1. Common law refers to A. An unwritten body of law based on general custom in England and used in some states to a certain degree. B. A generally accepted practice. C. Common sense. D. None of these. Answer. A. Still used to some extent in some states, common law refers to an unwritten body of law based on general custom. This type of law is based on general custom in England. Question 2. When a real estate transaction occurs, which of these typically earn the highest commissions, barring any other contractual agreements? A. Realtors. B. Lenders. C. Appraisers. D. Lawyers. Answer. A. The largest commissions that are earned in a real estate transaction are those earned by realtors, in general. Question 3. When a veteran is looked at and proven to be eligible for a VA loan, the document that is given to them from the Department of Veterans Affairs is called A. Certificate of Eligibility. B. Certificate of Authentication. C. Certificate of Availability. D. Certificate of Green Light. Answer. A. A certificate of eligibility is the certificate that is issued to a veteran that is determined to be eligible for a VA loan. Question 4. The assessed value is A. The valuation placed on a property by a public tax assessor for taxation purposes. B. The valuation placed on a property by a certified real estate appraiser. C. The valuation placed on a property by a real estate agent after looking at comps. D. None of these. Answer. A. The assessed value is the valuation placed on a property by a public tax assessor to determine the appropriate tax rate for the property. Question 5. When a loan is paid off, it is also known as being A. Amortized. B. Finished. C. Completed. D. Exhausted. Answer. A. Amortized is the proper term for a loan that has been paid off. Question 6. When a loan is being paid off, over time. A. The amount of interest increases while the principal balance decreases. B. The amount of interest decreases while the principal balance increases. C. The amount of interest decreases while the principal balance decreases. D. The amount of interest increases while the principal balance increases. Answer. C. As a loan is being paid off over time, the amount of interest being charged is recalculated based on the remaining loan balance amount at predetermined intervals. Therefore, over time the amount of interest on a loan amount will decrease as the principal loan balance decreases. Question 7. When a veteran receives a loan, which organization guarantees the loan in the event of a default? A. The VA. B. The FHA. C. The HOA. D. The CIA. Answer. A. The Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, is the organization that guarantees VA loans in the event of a default. Question 8. A federal law requiring lenders to fully disclose in writing the terms and conditions of a mortgage, including the annual percentage rate and other charges, is called A. Truth in lending. B. Veritas of oblige. C. Transparency of disclosure. D. None of these. Answer A. The federal law that requires lenders to fully disclose the terms and conditions of a mortgage, including the annual percentage rate and other charges, in writing, is called the Truth in Lending Law. Question 9. A transfer tax is A. State tax payable when title passes from one owner to another. B. A local tax payable when title passes from one owner to another. C. Both a state and local tax that is payable when title passes from one owner to another. D. None of these. Answer C. A transfer tax is both a state and local tax which is payable when title passes from one owner to another. Question 10. The company that specializes in examining and insuring titles to real estate is called A. A title company. B. An insurance company. C. A transaction coordinator. D. None of these. Answer A. A title company is a company that specializes in examining and insuring titles to real estate. Question 1. Which of the following cannot be defined as escrow monies? A. Promissory notes. B. Security deposits. C. Personal bonds. D. Earnest money. Answer C. Personal bonds cannot be used as escrow money because the escrow money must be immediately available in most cases. Any of the other answers listed are acceptable for escrow monies. Question 2. Which of these are considered a protected class under the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988? A. A dog. B. A child. C. An immigrant. D. A single mother. Answer B. Of the listed choices, the presence of children in a family were added to the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988. Question 3. Ben, the landlord, wishes to charge Betty extra rent because she has a child living with her. This would be considered A. Legal. B. Illegal. C. Legal in certain neighborhoods. D. None of these. Answer B. This practice is illegal according to the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988 that included the presence of children in a family as a protected class. Question 4. Building heights, setbacks, and density are usually established by A. Local building inspectors. B. Zoning regulations. C. County ordinances. D. State general plans. Answer B. Zoning regulations control the use of land as well as determine building heights, setbacks, and density. Question 5. What does the Real Estate Settlements Procedures Act cover? A. Residential mortgage loans. B. 1 to 4 family mortgage loans. C. Commercial mortgage loans. D. Installment mortgages. Answer B. Also known as RESPA, the Real Estate Settlements Procedures Act covers 1 to 4 family mortgage loans, including equity loans. Question 6. Careful zoning can have which effect on property values? A. No change in property value. B. Increased property value. C. Decrease in property value. D. None of these. Answer B. Proper and careful zoning can increase property values by means of the principle of conformity. Question 7. If Jerry sold his land to Margaret, he could inhibit Margaret's future enjoyment of the property by what means? A. Nothing. Once the property is sold, it belongs to Margaret to do as she pleases. B. Through zoning laws. C. Through deed restrictions. D. Through court order. Answer. C. Deed restrictions are restrictive covenants on the use of the property that run with the land. Question 8. Abel has the right to cross through Peter's property to get to his property. What is this right called? A. A license. B. An appurtenant easement. C. A habendum clause. D. A contract. Answer. B. Abel has an appurtenant easement that allows him to cross over Peter's property to get to his own. Question 9. If Nancy owns the property that Heather crosses over to get to her own property, Nancy owns which parcel? A. Dominant. B. Neutral. C. Subservient. D. Servient. Answer. A. Because Nancy owns the land that Heather has to cross over by easement to get to her property, Nancy is said to have the dominant parcel. Question 10. In order to bind a contract between two parties, consideration must be A. Money. B. Goods or services. C. Money, goods, or services. D. Anything the parties agree upon is valuable enough. Answer. E. Consideration in a contract can be anything agreed upon between two parties that they consider to be valuable enough to satisfy the contract.
Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.